Hello, everybody. So excited to be on week 2 of Success Stories. But before Christy and I dive in, I thought I would hand over to our beautiful Denise because she orchestrated this whole series, and we're just so grateful to her for bringing us all together. So, yeah, do you want to share anything before we get started?
Hello, everyone. I hope you don't mind me joining you in my bra at the beach. It's very hot here. I am really excited to hear both Stacey and Christy speak today. These women, we have basically been running our businesses for the same amount of time, or very close to. And I have loved being, walking side by side with these women and seeing the amazing businesses and teams that they have grown. We have been on trips together to, Byron Bay and to Bahamas and to Port Douglas. Like, we've been in it. Like, these women are incredible leaders. Stace, I'm not sure if you're speaking first. Stace is market mentor. She's fully Motor Club qualified and she has a beautiful team. She leads with so much heart. Christie's the same. Like, these women have quite similar backgrounds, to be honest. Like, Christie has nutritional medicine background. Stacey has a dietetics background, as well as like a multitude of other things. Like, these women wear many, many hats. They're also busy mamas. And Christy also is a market mentor, and she's close to being Motor Club qualified as well. Um, really excited for you guys to hear about how they have began their business, what their backgrounds were, what they were doing before Monate, and what pulled them in, and what they have done to achieve the success that they have, what it's looked like for them. Because, as you know, if you're a mum, and especially if your kids are at home, life is full on. And so they are testament to the fact that you can have a full-on family life and still run a successful business. And one of the biggest draw cards of this business is you get to do it from home around your families. So I'm really excited to hear from them. Stacey, I guess I'll throw it over to you and take.
Thank you so much, Shanice. Oh, she must have received a phone call, but we're so grateful to have her. Yeah, we lost you for a sec there, but we're so grateful to have you organizing this, and thank you so much for being here as well. So are you happy for me to go first, Christy? We didn't really, yeah, okay, cool. All right, so I guess it's after hearing Bridie and Denise talk last week, I'm feeling like I want to go deep, like I want to share the nitty-gritty. So bear with me because there might be stuff that comes up in my story today that I haven't shared before. But I guess I want to start by saying thank you for being here, because whether you're already on this business journey with us or not, like whether you've bought your pack, you've started, or you're sitting on the fence and you're ready to go, I just want to thank you and want you to know how grateful I am that you're taking this time in your day to be here with us to hear our stories. Because I mean, Christy's incredible and all these women are incredible. I don't think that I'm anything more special than any of you. And so to be here, like sharing my story, does feel very vulnerable. And I know we show up and we talk about this all the time, but me and Christy are a bit nervous today. So just kind of saying that doesn't happen very often for me. But that's kind of how I'm feeling today. So I just thought I would share that. Even now, 2.5 years into my business, I still get these jitters, I still get this discomfort. And yeah, so as Denise said, I am a mum of two. I've got two little girls, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. My husband and I used to run an online wellness company. We ran it for over 7 years. And if I hadn't found Monet, I would probably still be running that business today. I'll go into more about that in a moment. Um, I also am an ex-CrossFit gym owner. Feel free to pop yourselves on mute as you come in. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, I used to own a gym down in Sydney for a couple of years, and I moved to Brisbane to follow my heart and be with my husband, who was meant to be a one-night stand, gone very wrong because here we are now, married 10 years later with 2 kids and a dog and all of the things. I also am a yoga teacher. I am a healer. I'm a personal trainer. As Denise said, like professional studier, right? I guess I just have not found the one thing. I love to have my fingers in all the pies. And as I get stuck on something, I want to know more about it. So I learn it to the point where I can then share it with other people. And so seeing my friend Jess sharing about these products when I was 39 weeks pregnant with my second baby, in my head, like I remember thinking, if it's good enough for her, it's good enough for me. I knew that we both shared similar values around health. I've been following her journey through free birthing her fourth baby, her fourth daughter. And I was gearing up for my free birth with my second baby. I'd had a traumatic first hospital birth. I'm sure there are many mums that can relate to like that first experience that sends you on a journey to find your healing for your second home birth experience, or wherever you are in your journey of mothering if you are a mother. But I really bonded, I really connected with Jess. Like I fangirled her. I don't know if she knows this, but like I was frothing on Jess's journey and just wanting to be like, if she can do it, I can do it. Yes, I've got this. So I bought the products from her, and it was a birthday present to myself. I had saved up money for my mat leave. I've done a lot of money block work, right? So I was like $400 for a box of shampoo. It's pricey, but if it's good quality stuff, if it works and it's low tox, like it ticks a few of my boxes. The reason that I was hunting for better quality products though was because I had had the worst postpartum hair loss after my first baby. And even my before photos don't really do it testament to how bad it was, because I hated having my photo taken. So, even like for the first 12 to 18 months of being a mum, like I loved being a mum. I love being a mum. It is my purpose on this planet is to have babies and raise them. And my husband says we're done, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um, you heard it here first. I want another one. He's probably listening in the kitchen going, what is she talking about? Anyway, and that's something that this shampoo business can give us that opportunity to do, right? Like keep us home with our babies. But it was traumatic, like going through being in the shower each week, trying to wash my hair with what I thought was good quality products because they were low tox. Um, I had tried everything like salon brand, like making it myself, like, essential oil based stuff. And it looked horrible, but it was good for me and it was good for the environment. Now, if we backtrack a little bit more, I know my journey's a bit all over the place, but if we backtrack just for a second to before I got pregnant with my first baby, the reason that we were on a low tox journey was because I have some health issues. I have some genetic stuff going on, and I knew that it was potentially going to be more challenging for us to fall pregnant because of the stuff that I had going on with my health. And so it was my highest priority to make sure that I did everything in my power to make sure that not only did I make babies, but I also gave them the best chance at health from an epigenetics perspective, from putting less toxins into my body, into their bodies, even in the womb. And so it was a really big deal for me to like look after myself and come on this journey of conscious living, to then making my babies, to then having our business and being home with them, to like everything was so synchronistic to leading me to have my free birth, to then when I met Jess, found these products, started using them, one wash wonder, put you guys on mute, sorry, and fell in love from that very first wash. I actually have a photo that I sent to Jess. This was like technically as a customer that had a market partner pack. She didn't ask me to send her a photo. I was so excited, genuinely excited about these products that I took a selfie of myself and I sent her and I said, I've just done my first hair wash. Like I was so pumped. You can see my like liquid retention in my very heavily pregnant face. If anyone's curious to see this photo, let me know. I'll send it to you. And my curls look beautiful and they hadn't been. So it was amazing. Fast forward 6 weeks later, I had a 3-week-old baby. Yes, she made me wait till 42 weeks, as most of the well-cooked babies do. So I'm 3 weeks postpartum. I've been using the products for 6 weeks. And I see Jess sharing, like obviously I'm like back on social media, watching, what she's up to because I was shouting from the rooftops about my amazing healing home birth that I had had and to anyone that would listen. And she's talking about Range Rovers and Jaguars. I'm like, this is interesting. Okay, what's this about? And then she's talking about buying her spray-free fruit and veg with shampoo money. Now, I've dabbled in some, let's say, essential oil-based marketing, network marketing before. I never earned enough money to cover my spray-free fruit and veg. And that got my interest peaked because little did I know, I didn't want to run my nutrition business anymore, but I hadn't admitted it to myself. I hadn't admitted it to my husband. it was draining me. I was so burnt out. I had saved up enough money to be on mat leave so that when my second baby was born, I could be with my 2-year-old and I could be with my newborn baby and I could take my 6 week sacred window and not be reliant on anything or anyone and just, be in our little bubble. Beyond that was however far I could make that money stretch. Now, my husband was busting his balls to keep the nutrition business afloat, but I'm the dietitian. Without me, there is no nutrition business. And I didn't want to do it anymore, but I hadn't, I'm going to get emotional. And sorry, guys. I didn't want to do it. I couldn't. I had nothing left in the tank. I just wanted to be with my babies. Like I literally, that's all I wanted to do. And I had no other option, right? Because you have to keep showing up, even if it's a business you don't want to do anymore. That was our option. That was our livelihood. It was get your shit together. That was paying our bills. And I remember in hindsight now, I look back and I go, in January of that year, so I birthed my baby in the January of 2022. Thanks, my love. Love you too. January of 2022, I wrote in my journal, manifesting a job I can do from home around my babies. I had no idea what that was going to be. But I was open-minded, right? I was open to the signs. I was open to the synchronicities of what would be brought into my field of awareness that I was meant to do next. And so when I saw Jess sharing about mentoring her market partners in this business, I was like, ooh, that pull that I feel, that niggle, I cannot ignore that. There was this undeniable calling to come and do this. And I could not explain what it was, why I felt it, how I was going to fit this into my already crazy busy life. But I knew I had to do it. So before I even realized what I was doing, I did not even speak to my husband. And I had already bought my market partner pack because to me, that was value, right? I was like, if I'm going to use these products, I'm going to buy the wholesale pack because knowing my personality, once I fall in love with something, I'm going to want to share it with my community. So I knew it was going to be another string to my bow if I loved it. Little did I know it was going to become the full bow. It was going to become the full friggin' bow. So I messaged Jess. I said, "What do I need to do to be mentored by you? I love what you're talking about. How do I do this?" She's like, "You're already a market partner. This is you like stepping forward. Yes, let's get you into the mentorship chat." And 1st of April 2022, I ran. I started talking about it. I started showing up in my stories. It was scary. I didn't want to do it. It was uncomfortable. I was there with my newborn baby, looking all still, water inflated and all of that beautiful stuff. And people wanted to buy the shampoo from me. And I was like, that's amazing. Like I had no idea if anyone would be interested, but I was willing to fail. I was willing to put myself out there and see what would happen. And in hindsight, again, it made sense now. I was sharing about protein powder. I was sharing about supplements I love. Like, how is this any different? Except that I actually get remunerated and the compensation plan is insanely good. So I had already made back the cost of my products in my first month. I hit the first rank. My first market partners were my mum and my sister. Like I was so grateful. It was so sweet. And then from there, like other people started to come forward and want to do this with me because they could see my vibration was raising. They could see me loving life. And that was from this business. It was insanity. And actually, one of the first people I asked is on this call today, my beautiful bestie, Emma. She said no. She said no before I even had a chance to finish explaining what the thing was because she had her own blocks, her own resistance. She tells her story openly on social media now because she is one of my leaders. And it's a beautiful example of somebody saying no, meaning actually not right now. But when Jess said to me, like, is there anybody that you think you would love to do this with? Emma was the first person that came to mind because she's low tox. Our babies are we're the same age. And yeah, I was super pumped. I was like, yes, like this, she's going to be amazing. This chick, she's going to come and do this with me. And she was no. And I was like, oh, that rejection feels uncomfortable. Okay, well, I still love her. Onwards and upwards. Here we go. Let's just keep putting myself out there and see who wants to do this. And now Emma shares, I could see you changing. I could see you doing things out of your comfort zone and it was making you grow. And, you you were like actually like glowing, you were being the lighthouse kind of thing. And I wanted to come and do this with you. And so here she is now, also 2 years down the track. But what this business has done for me is beyond any paycheck. Like, yes, it has, like, guys, 6 figures, 6 figures from a box Aussie, right? A lot of people who hit the 100K club, they're talking about American US dollars in commission and bonuses. So far, to date, I have worked out, I've now earned from a $400 box investment. I bought the $375 hair essentials and a conditioner because it didn't have a conditioner back then. And I think maybe one more styling product that I got. I've turned that into 6 figures in less than 2.5 years. Like that to me is wild, wild. When we started our nutrition business, it was $5,000 minimum just for our website, and then like $2,000 to $4,000 a month in expenses. So we knew we had to sell a certain number of meal plans before we could even break even each month. This was pure insanity to me that this was even possible. And I didn't even want to do it. And here I am, 2.5 years down the track with a 6 figure business. I've qualified for, I mean, I feel weird saying all this stuff, but it is real. It's just my story, so I have to share it. Oh, muting. So I've earned all the trips since I've been able to qualify for them. 2 domestic trips, our reunion trips. I've qualified for now 3 international trips. The last one being to Tulum this November, which I'm very excited about. I've qualified for the motor club, as Denise said. What else? I don't know. Like met some of my best friends. One of them here is about to speak, included. Like just so much has changed. And to think, I'm gonna start crying again if I do this, but to think where I could have been if I had not found this, if Jess had not been brave enough to push through her blocks and keep showing up for this business, I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably wouldn't have found it. Would me and my husband still be running a business that was driving me into the ground, taking me away from my babies, right? Like having to show up and run a corporate session. I had to put my kids in care. I wouldn't have been able to do this around them. I wouldn't have been able to breastfeed until I was ready to stop. I would have had to pay for somebody else to look after them. And I didn't want to do that. That wasn't my story. So to have this option, this flexibility, this, dare I say, freedom from a compliance perspective, but that truly is what it feels like to me, this choice, these options. And my husband and I, like, we have a beautiful relationship. I think a lot of that stems from running a business together for 7 years because we had to communicate, we had to work through some stuff. And don't even get me started on like COVID. Like over those last few years, we both lost our jobs that were providing like our main income, yoga teacher, CrossFit coach. Like we struggled and we never wanted to be in that state again because even with our nutrition business being our option, like our income, we found a way to make it work. We had to pivot, but people weren't investing in meal plans. That was like considered a luxury item, right? It wasn't essential for people at that time. So that is where we pivoted and we went more into mental health. We went more into corporate space to help people that were stuck at home, being on Zoom all day. But we lost so many options and we became reliant on government payments through that period. And that did not feel comfortable. So this has given me back so much more than I ever could have dreamed of. It's literally changed my life. And now, now we're able to live in a home. Yes, we're still renting. We're not homeowners yet, but that's the next dream. Like that is the next part of our vision. We're saving up. We're able to put away some money each month. We're covering all of our bills. Like my husband's got his business, I've got my business, and we're able to work around our children, spend quality time with them whenever we want to and need to. The crazy part is that when I started this business, I really thought that I could do it all alone. Like I loved the idea of having Jess as my mentor, but I do remember her dropping into my inbox and being like, how's it all going? And, in my head, I was like, yeah, like people that want to buy the Market Partner pack as a customer kind of thing, like, yeah, fine, they can do that. And you can only get so far doing this business on your own. The sooner you realize it's actually not about you and it's about who you can help with this business next. Once I realized that, like that was massive. That was a big changing point for me in my business when and you go through phases, right? You go through these growth phases of like, what's the lean in this month and who's the next person I can help and how do I work through new level, new devil? How can I work through my thing that then helps me to help the next person that I'm meant to help with this? So it has literally, I can't even put into words, but hopefully you can feel in my energy, in my vibration. I just there is nothing to lose here. You've got so much to gain and so little to lose that the best thing that happens, the worst thing that happens is you get awesome hair and you meet some awesome humans and you become a better human. But the best thing that happens is you get all of that and an extra income and so much more than you ever could have dreamed possible. But for me and my hubby to now be where we are and to look back on the last few years and go, what if I hadn't said yes to this sliding doors moment? Oh, yeah, and I'm a founder in the company. Just breezed over that bit. So within 8 months, like, you know, I I want to say like my husband backed me, but he didn't actively do anything. He was just like my cheerleader. But this was me and my team, and we did this with Jess's guidance. Like she went before us, she showed us what was possible. And so in 8 months, the reason that this is important is because you guys that are on this call live or you watch the recording, it's the 29th of July, 2022, and you see this before the 1st of August at lunchtime, you still have time to jump on and buy your market partner pack for as little as $240. But if you're serious about this business and you have the budget, go the 890 because it is the best value. I wish in hindsight that I had gone the $890 pack. You have access to our Founders On-Call program. And so 8 months of actively running my business, I became a founder, an Asia Pacific founder, locking in shares for me and my family for the duration of my Monate life. Every time that I hit that market mentor rank at that end of quarter, I receive shares on top of my bonuses and my commissions. Like that is crazy, crazy insane to me. And you have access to that program right now. So there's literally like nothing to lose and just stop holding yourself back, whatever fears, whatever blocks, like worry about that stuff. Once you bought your pack, we've got the blueprint, we've got the guidance, we've got the way to show you as long as you're coachable, as long as you're willing to give it a go and do whatever it takes. Like I love, Denise has shared this throughout her journey. I am a professional problem solver. Everything is figure outable. And I feel that way. The women that have stayed in this through the ups and downs, we will make this work no matter what. It's not, I'll give it a try and see what happens. It's not, I'll do my best. It's, I'll do my best and I'll continue to do my best and more, even through the hard, even through the challenging days, even through the ups and the downs. That is literally what this takes. And we are not going to sugarcoat this. We are not going to bullshit you. It does take effort. It does take work. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. Oh my gosh, is it worth it? Yeah, it's so fucking worth it. Sorry for the swearing. I feel like our whole team swears like sailors. And I remember seeing somebody say something about, I'm a solo parent and my kids are hearing everything. And I'm sorry, but like we are not going to change who we are. So plug in your headphones or whatever you need to do. But that is how passionate I am about getting this business into people's lives because you will not regret it, right? You will not regret it for a second. So I'm glancing at my notes because I feel like I have missed something out. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Oh, that's the last thing I was going to say. Now it's your turn. It is your turn, right? Like we found this and we are showing up talking about this day in, day out because we are blessed enough and courageous enough to have jumped on and said yes to this, and we're doing it. This isn't about us anymore. It's your turn. If we can do it, so can you. So, like, back yourself, stop cock blocking yourself, and let's give this a go. Like, you won't know unless you try. And I'm going to hand over to Christie now because otherwise I'll keep blabbing on for another half an hour. Thank you.
All right, you got me? Yeah, I don't know if Denise wanted to say anything because she looked like she came off mute. Are you good, Denise? Okay, you're good. All right, let me grab my notes. Hello, my loves. Thank you for being here again. As Stacey said, I know like calls take up your time. I am a big fan of listening to replays because I can double speed it while I'm cooking, or that one time a month I'm in the car solo. So if you are here live, thank you so much. And if you've got your videos off, hopefully you are driving or cooking or doing something else productive. So let me pull my notes up. I was scrolling through all the names here, and there is a bunch of names that I recognize, but I actually think there's more people watching here whose names I probably don't know. So for those of you that don't know me, hello, my name's Christie. I live on the Sunshine Coast, like a lot of us do, it seems to be. So my story, like Stace said, both her and I were a little bit nervous, and I love that we were like partnered up, whether there was reasoning or not. But I feel like Stace and I have similar stories, but I also feel like they're different, obviously. But I think that Stace and I is also different to a lot of the women who are sharing in this training, because, well, I think Stace and I have sort of felt we don't have like this big emotional stories to share, but it really comes down to like everyone has their own story to share. So if you too feel like at some point, I don't know what the hell I would share, just know that we've probably all been there and there is always something to share. All right. So I joined this business 2 years ago. Denise is my direct upline. And let's start with like, if I sandwich this for you, right? I joined 2 years ago and I've watched gorgeous women come along and pass me like again and again and again. So obviously I'm here to show you like to share like why I'm still here and what has happened in that time. So
yeah, you can take it on if you want. Yeah.
I can't mute anyone, Stace. So
Okay.
that's okay. I'm back. I think you muted me too, but that's okay. My background is in nutritional medicine, right? So that's what I did before I had kids. I'd studied transpersonal life coaching. And then truthfully, the thought of me like sitting in a room coaching someone versus sitting me in a room talking about nutrition, I was like, okay, I need to further study nutrition. I grew up in Sydney. My partner and I lived in Cairns for 5 years. I had massive chronic fatigue while I was in there, and it was probably the silver lining because living in Sydney probably could have proverbial energetically exhausted me and killed me. I don't know. But that's my background, nutritional medicine. I've worked in health food stores for like well over a decade. I absolutely love it. And we've got 2 boys. So the eldest is 7 and little man is 3.5. So when I had my eldest boy, 7, I think like fast forward 2 years in, he was probably about 2, I think. And I can't remember if we like needed the money or if I just wanted to do something different was the reason why I was looking for like a casual job, a part-time job. It was probably to give me something to do because I know I put him in a family daycare those 2 days, which meant I probably walked away with $20 extra during the week, so I probably did it for the love of it. And I did anyone on the Sunshine Coast, if you know, CK Whole Foods that used to be at Mooloolaba. So I was managing that place 2 days a week, the entire cafe, which was huge, and the like health food store at the back doing orders for that. And I loved it. Fast forward, COVID, I literally remember like the chats we had on the last day. I don't know if you guys remember where you were around COVID, like when you kind of got the news, if you were working, that shit was shutting down. And I remember thinking like, maybe it's 3 months. Remember my boss, like, I think October. And well, like we all know how it panned out, right? So I never went back to that job. And then I managed to find an additional job online. This was working for a health food wholesaler. It was extremely flexible, so I loved it. Like I was literally visiting businesses on the coast or ringing them, mostly East Queensland, the whole east coast of Australia. So like people that I knew, stores I'd been into, all of this. So like calling to make orders, see how they're going, get products in new companies, in new stores, so all of these things. But I had to do my hours between 9 and 5 because that's business hours, right? And I was pregnant. And then I was like, yeah, I'll have this baby and I'll come back to work because the hours are super flexible and I can work from home, But as you know, like nap times, teething, unhappy babies, pram walks around the block 7 times, like all of these things. And I remember thinking, if I could just do this at like 8 o'clock at night, I could literally do this, right? And then Monet started to like land in my sphere, I suppose. I've known Jess Etzel for years, and Denise and I connected over COVID because she loves to share the story that I was flying to Sydney with my family and we were the only ones in the airport without wearing a mask. So Denise is like, she's my people. You're on the coast. Let's meet up for a picnic. And the rest is history, right? So I was seeing Jess and Denise share the products and I was curious in the products because I had terrible postpartum hairline. If any of you guys have seen my before and afters, I literally have one before photo and it is a photo of me caught off guard like this. So there's like these big triangle patches. I'm grateful for the photo now, but similar to Stace, I don't have a lot of before photos because my hair was always tied up back in a mum bun. I could never ever look nice, right? Unless I went to their hair salon, which truthfully was once every 3 years. So I wasn't looking for a business opportunity, but I was curious about the products and I was like, okay, let's chat about the business opportunity. So that's where I started. And I had dabbled in network marketing previously, but again, had never made any money in it, but I understood the whole concept of it, right? And I loved everything about network marketing. I loved that you could kind of do it on your own, but you're kind of in a team environment. I love that you could do it anytime, do as little or as much. And I really loved the creativity of it. You know, you could promote these products in any way, shape, or form, like creative with reels, with Instagram lives, have people in your home, do massive markets, like take your pick. I really loved that side of it as well. And I remember jumping on the phone with Denise, and then I jumped on the phone with Jess, and I was like, I need to know everything about the ingredients because us health nuts need to know everything about the ingredients, right? And we laugh now. And anyway, then I bought a box of products, right? But I wasn't looking for a job. I've always loved working though. So like even with my kids, this is why I've always done something else. Like I've always loved working, but the other thing that I loved about starting this was that, as we all know, I could start at a very little cost. I didn't need 6 months of education. I didn't need a hair background, a beauty background, a social media background. I could start today with whatever I had, and just give it a red hot crack. Basically, like learn on the job was what I thought. I didn't need to like plug into months of training. I could like start, learn step 1, go do it. Learn step 2, go do it. That I could start right away. And that I could do it in the evenings, right? So that's where I started. I was fueled on excitement. It was something I could sink my teeth into. I could it could give me passion and purpose as something other than the 27 hats we wear as mothers, right? Like I wanted to speak to adults again. It fell under the low tox umbrella for me. I was still helping people. Like I loved all of that about it. I think in my first month, you guys, I must have sent out 50 cards and maybe one person checked out. So when you're starting this business and you're like, I've spoken to so many people, if it's not 50, keep going, right? I know Megan Pellizzari was in the same boat when she started and we're both chatting to our mentors and it's like help. And sometimes there's nothing you can do and people just aren't ready to buy products and it's not a no forever. It might be a no now. Obviously, we made some tweaks and changes because I was sending out a lot of cards and not getting a lot of sales. And I did do a my neighborhood. No, actually, I think I was like one VIP short of a my neighborhood in my Smart Start. But then that following month, I did an entire my neighborhood in one calendar month. So all those seeds I planted, you guys, like they fruit. I love to put like a 3-month timeline on these. I don't know why. Maybe I heard it from someone else on a training, but I'm like, the work you do now is going to pay you in 3 months' time. So if you're like, nothing's happening, like just keep doing it and the fruits will come. But I wasn't deterred at all by the fact that I'd sent out so many cuts. Like I wasn't sitting there going, this is shit, it doesn't work. Like I was just like, this really sucks, but like let's change it and let's keep going. So there's another little snippet for you if you've had that, right? And on that, I think we all come into this business with different skills and different skill sets and different levels of those skills. And it's why this sort of business can be so brilliant at helping us grow and expand and learn different things. And like I said, when I joined this in the last 2 years and I've seen so many women like overtake me, right? They have different skill sets to me, right? Like that's literally what it will come down to. They're no better, they're no more special, like they're probably just more skilled, right? So it comes down to learning those skills. Like this is a sales job, right? If you know nothing about sales, you might not necessarily do amazingly well until you learn more about sales. Like it's quite basic. Like if you've never stepped foot on a netball court, you're going to be pretty shit until like you've played your first game and you've had some training. Do you know what I mean? Like it's no different. And I think remembering that very basic thing can be like liberating so that we don't throw all our crap on ourselves of why like it's not working or I don't have as many enrollments as I want this month or whatever it might be. I hit MMB. Well, I hit MMP at some point, like quite early on. And I'm pretty sure I should have probably checked this, but I remember hitting MMB like probably within like the 6 months because it was a very exciting time. I think it was, yeah, I don't remember, right? But I had like Ivy in my inbox. I had Christina Smallwood. I had Chris DeParney. Like you all feel very special in all of this. I don't know how long I stayed at MMB, you guys. It was well over 6 months because if you don't know this, if you don't re-hit MMB for 6 months, you actually fall back to MB. And that happened to me in my back office. And I messaged Jess and I'm like, why does it say MB? And she's like, this is why. And I was like, oh my Lord, I must have stayed at MMB for like 8-9 months. I don't know. So if you have been there, know you are not the only one and that there are things you can do, right? Now, I also joined in a period of time where, truthfully, it pains me to tell this story, but where I could earn founder shares, right? Fast forward my 12 months, I didn't earn them. It was a really freaking hard pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie. And all I can say is like my team, the collectively wasn't ready. Like yes, it falls back on me, of course, but if you've been going for MM, you know, you literally cannot do that solo. So it is a team effort, right? And let's just say like my team wasn't ready, but it was a hard thing. And I could have quit, of course, like anything big or bad or like upsetting that comes up in business and life. Like, it's like, do you want to quit or are we going to keep going? And obviously I didn't quit, but quitting has never been an option for me. I retell myself like the only way to fail at this is if I quit. If I want to make 20K months, I've got to stay in it until I'm making 20K a month. If I quit now, I'm never going to be making 20Ks a month. I listened to something the other day with like Mary Bishop. If you girls follow her, she's in Ivy's downline in the US. And I love her because she said, if your goal is to get to the top of the company anyway, it shouldn't matter how long it takes to get there. And when you hit there, you're going to quit. Like Ivy hit the $1 million club. Did she quit? No, like that wasn't like the only goal. SED isn't the only goal. So it shouldn't matter what time it takes to get there. It's just like you keep doing the do, right? So it was never an option for me to quit. And here's another little thing that I love, and I've done this once or twice, where I'm like, I sit and I'm like, okay, let's just play the hypothetical of quitting, right? And feel into that. And I guarantee it does not feel good. Like it doesn't feel light and spacious and like, oh, that's the better decision. Like I guarantee that for you. So if you're like, oh, this is really hard and it's shit or I'm having a slow month or whatever, like maybe try that. Sit in let's pretend I quit. Journal it out or just feel it or meditate, like whatever you want to do. But I guarantee you will come back stronger because you're like, that doesn't feel good. I don't want to do that. So here I am. And like, I need to pivot, do you know? And I think if we look at like the level of skills we come in here with, it's like, well, where are you falling short? And then that's where your skills need to be. If your VIP enrollments or whatever. Anyway, I know this isn't like motivational. Well, that's me telling my story. So let me go back to my notes, right? So I've seen many women fly past me, right? And I felt like I joined in the beginning. I didn't join the month that Monet hit the company, but I joined, and I remember the first ever Guys Main photo shoot, guys, was the week that I joined. Maybe there was 8 of us. Like I know it was Jess, it was Nisi, it was Stace, it was Ash, it was Kim, Carly, who's since moved on, and maybe like one other person, I don't know. But like, so I felt like I started in the beginning. And so I felt like I should be further along, like by now, whether that was 12 months ago or yesterday, do you know? Like, I feel like we always place these own timelines on. But again, it's like, well, if I'm not going to quit and I'm going to hit the top and I want 20K months, it's like you just keep plugging in. So if you're an MP, which I think most of you are here, or if you are yet to be an MP, and you feel stuck at any time, like it's okay. You can still have success here. You can still get the car. You can still earn income. You can still earn all the trips. Even if you're not at the top of the leaderboards that they put out every quarter, because really like 99% of us are not in a top 10, right? Like how many people are in doing this business? Like shitloads more than 10 of us. So remember that. But I think one of my keys for still like sticking it out and being here is belief. You need to believe in the products first, right? You need to believe in this business, and you need to believe that you can give it a red hot go. Like, how are you different to anyone else than Jess? Do you know, when I used to say on my lives, I'm like, she's a real person. I can have a cup of coffee with her. It's not like someone's sisters, cousins, brothers, uncles, like when you start this business and you've only got other people's stories to share, like sharing the belief of others and sharing the success of others, but believing in this for yourself, right? Like Jess Essel had to find her first customer. Christie had to find her first customer. If you don't know who these gorgeous women are, they are like top leaderboard income earners in the company, right? But I really feel like that is probably the secret sauce. When people's like, what's the secret sauce? I'm like, it's belief. And you can't put a timeline on belief either, which I think, right? Anyway, so I have earned trips to Port Douglas. I have earned trips to Byron Bay, the first reunion, the second reunion. I've earned a trip to the Bahamas. I'm halfway qualified to my car. I'm like, these are all like the highlight reels. I know Stace was like, I feel weird sharing these. Like, we've still earned these. And yes, these are the highlight reels, but it's like your day in action that like you guys put in, that I've put in, right? I know Denise has been like, Christie showed up on social media every single day for 2 years when I was living in my mum's house, when I was driving 40 minutes to school, when I had to drop off my boy when he started, and it was fucking hard and painful and just emotional, like that 4 months when we thought we'd been in my mum's house for 3 weeks and we were here for 4 months. And I know you could probably all relate to how like tricky that might be of a situation, right? And then we moved into our acreage place, and like, I know that's a dream for many, but like moving house in general is huge. And moving on to acreage where like nothing is really established. And we were like renovating the entire shed. And then, yeah, it's veggie garden and fruit trees, but like money needs to go into that. Time needs to go into that. Like all of these things, when you sometimes feel like you were drowning in strong-willed children and nap times, do you know what I mean? So I also earn 4 figures a month. And for anyone who is like, I don't know about the whole, like, if you don't feel confident sharing or you don't feel like you've made enough money, like I sometimes love to relate this to, I could be earning 4 figures a month doing any other job. So maybe that's not impressive. But I think the biggest flex is that we are doing it with our kids next to us. Like I could be earning 4 figures a month working 8 hours a day, but I'm earning 4 figures a month, like with my toddler running circles around me. Do you know what I mean? So we do it, and I know we've all said, and we've all had trainings on this too, like you pick your heart. Is it harder to stay at home with my kids and earn 4 figures a month, or is it harder for me to put them somewhere else and work out 8 hours a day and earn 4 figures a month, right? And I know which one I would choose, and I do, and I've chosen it, and I wake up every day, guys, and you choose it again and again and again and again, and if not, sit in that thing like, let's hypothetically quit and see how you feel, because I think like my other, oh, I hope you didn't hear that message come through. It was so loud in my ear. The other thing is like consistency. We talk about consistency and discipline a lot, but it is like, I can't tell you the amount of times I have gone to, I really hope you don't hear those buzzing. Okay, cool. The amount of times that I've gone to like just tell hubby, I'm like, I'm just going to jump in the bathroom to do like a quick story or a get ready with me or like something, and you're feeling good, and then shit hits the fan in your home, and I feel like I have to like come back to like jump on my stories all happy Christie. The amount, like I've lost count, you guys. So if you're in that same boat, it's like, but then I jump on my stories and I will do like a text story, right? It's very easy to be like, stuff my phone for the rest of the day. But if I always did that, I would have shown up 50% less than I have, right? So again, it's like, it shouldn't matter how long it takes if you know where you are going anyway. And I have full belief that this business is going to give me like 20K months at some point. Is it next month or is it in 12 months? I don't know. You just work towards it, because I know if I like actually quit this job, like I will be kicking myself and have to unfollow all of you, because I know what I would be missing out on. Do you know what I mean? So let me see. Moving forwards, it's like keep showing up, keep learning, keep leading, keep failing, keep setting goals. They might be the same goal over and over again. They might be bigger goals, whatever. Like I said, we live on acreage. You can't have acreage and work a 9 to 5 job, because you'd be working your 9 to 5 job to earn a truckload of money to pay someone else to come and mow your 30 acres, do you know, and to look after everything. So it's literally like hubby and I can't work 9 to 5. If you're on acreage, it's near impossible. I've had friends do it and they end up selling their land. So if that's your dream, just know like Monet can pay for that, but a 9 to 5 job, like you're really going to struggle with that, right? I'm here for the bigger paychecks. I'm here for the trips. Once you've been on a trip, you will know. We all say like we didn't join for the trips. If you've been on a trip, you know the magic. And if nothing else, like it looks good on your resume. Like if you're like, oh, I would love, I'm so close to Mexico, but I'm not sure I can actually go because I have like a family wedding or like something cool. Just qualify. Like it looks good on your resume because people see you doing things and achieving things, right? And then when you go, you will bust your chops to get on every single other one after that. It's also really good to build your business. Like reunion trip is coming up. That is based off of PV. So it is personal sales. So it literally builds your business for you. And then the trip at the end is like the bonus for like going out and building your business in a time frame. I think that is everything on my stories. I mean, on my notes, sorry. I think that's it. That's probably most of what I wanted to teach you
So
or to
good.
share.
And I mean, if somebody is on this call and hasn't jumped on the business yet, what would you say to them?
I would just literally say just start. Like I filmed this the other week. I'm like, just start, like learn on the job. You've got, we all know like the supportive community here is just that, like it's so supportive. Everything is step by step. We all have like trainings that's like start here. You can't go wrong with this unless you don't talk about the business of it. Do you know? Like share with people, I've just started this new business opportunity. This is what I'm doing. Like I would love to do this with you if it's your best friend. Or it's like, what products are you currently using? Do you love them? If not, like, do you want to switch up to something I have on offer for you? Like that's basically how to chat VIPs and market partners in this business. But I think we all started for money and then everything else has been a bonus. Do you know, like the trips, the best friendships, and not just talking about like which shampoo is helping in our chats. Like that's a resource for sure. But a lot of us here have catch ups and coffees and play dates with our kids outside of business because we've just met such like-minded people in this, do you know?
Yeah, I did a live with one of my team the other day and I love what she said, so I'm going to share it today. If this was a scam, how embarrassing would it be for us to keep showing up every day? Like, I laughed my butt off because I'm like, yeah, that would be really fucking awkward. So it's clearly not a scam. You buy the products, you use the products, you share the products, you sell the products, you earn some money, and you literally have the ability to change your life in so many more ways than you ever dreamed possible. So the best thing that you can do is go back to the person that sent you the link to this video, whether you're watching it live or whether you're watching the recording. They can do a hair and or skin quiz with you, even some makeup color matching if you're ready to dive into our low tox skincare makeup, and hook you up with the product pack that is going to work best for your budget. Again, $890 pack is the best investment. But if it's not in your budget and you just need to get started because Founders is on the table only for the next 3 days, literally into the next 10 minutes, 3 days and 10 minutes to buy your market partner pack, to just start like $240. You can start using the products and share your experience and run for these founder shares because I'm telling you guys, like it is so worthwhile and you won't regret it. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap it up? Or thank you so much for being here, everyone. And yeah, I mean, what I'm most excited about now is the women that are yet to join, right? Like if you're already a market partner and you're jumping onto this opportunity call, that's awesome. Now go and find the next person that you can help. Because that's exactly what me and Christie like are sharing our stories for today is for the next person that needs this and doesn't even know it, right? Like we didn't even know we needed or wanted this, but here we are. And don't make the same mistakes as us, like go all in from the second you click join now and don't leave anything on the table. Just make it happen. It's yours. It's yours to take. We can't do it for you. We can't run your business. We can't buy your pack. Oh, welcome. First day. That's awesome. Okay, well,
So
Janine,
cool.
what would you say to someone who's watching this call that hasn't jumped on board yet? What would you say to them if they were like on the fence? Yeah, welcome, Janine. I would love to know because if there is somebody that's sitting on the fence and has been like, Christy and I have been in conversations with some women who are absolutely amazing, who will absolutely crush this business, and they still haven't bought their packs. So we're just like, what are you waiting for? If it's fear, feel the fear and do it anyway. If it's finances, sell something and buy your pack or do zip pay. If it's like whatever it is, there's a way to overcome it because dive in. Love it, Janine. Dive in. If there's anything holding you back, but you know you're meant to be doing this, just rip the fucking band-aid off and do it. Just fucking do it. All right, guys, I'm going to love and leave you. We'll let you get back to your day, but we can't wait to share this recording. I'll share the YouTube link once it's up and couldn't find any risk. Exactly. There is no risk associated with this. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my loves. Thank you so much for sharing, Christy. Thank you, Denise, for
Thank
organizing. Thank you,
you.
Jess, for going first. We love you all. Mwah. See
Have
you
a
on the
good
flip
one.
side.